It's despicable that a reputable head coach could come out and say this when he doesn't get his way or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen, and it's ridiculous. But when he's not on top, and the parity in college football he's been talking about, go talk to coaches who coach for him. You'll find out all the parity. Go dig into wherever he's been. You can find out anything. Some people think they're God. Go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out about a guy that a lot of things you don't want to know. We built him up to be the czar of football. Go dig into his past. My dad always told me this: when people show you who they are, believe them. He's showing you who he is.
Have you had any contact with Nick since?
No. Oh, he's called.
You just didn't take the call?
Not going to. We're done.
Okay. And
he shows you who he is.
And then I just wanted to.
He's the greatest ever, huh?
And then I just wanted
when you got all the advantages, it's easy. And you coach with people like Bobby Bowden and learn how to do things. You coach with other people and learn how not to do things. There's a reason people don't go, I ain't went back and worked for him. With opportunities.
Coach, back behind the lights.
Don't be associated with it. You can call me anything you want to call me. You ain't calling me a cheat. I don't cheat and I don't lie. So I learned that when I was a kid. If you did, the old man slapped you side of the head. Maybe somebody should have slapped him.
Oh, man. Hey, listen. That's some good stuff right there. That's some good stuff. And I just feel like, man, there's so much to get into, Mike, on this. We really don't have enough time, especially today. We don't have enough time. This could be a single topic show on this and all the layers and all the things to untangle. But I just want to make sure that I got it right from Nick Saban. Nick Saban reminds me of what some people say in church. When you do it, when you do something that I don't approve of, it's a sin. You sin, you go to hell. The devil. It's the devil that made you do it when you do it. But when I do it, well, either if I admit to doing it, that's one thing. But then if I do it, it's just a little mistake. It's just a misunderstanding. It's a misinterpretation of the rules. Maybe you got to look at it in the right context. Because if I listen to Nick Saban, let me make sure I get this right. Miami, there's problems in Miami. You read about it in the paper. So they do things the wrong way in Miami. They do things the wrong way in College Station, Texas, where Texas A&M is. Oh, they got the #1 recruiting class, but they do it all wrong. They do everything wrong in Jackson, Mississippi, where Jackson State, Deion Sanders, they got a really good prospect. Oh, really good? Like one of the top prospects, if not the top prospect in the country. But in Tuscaloosa, on Nick Saban's watch, everything is just fine. We got name, image, and likeness just like everybody else. The rest of NCAA schools are really struggling with how to manage this, but Alabama does it all the right way. And another thing, Mike, before I pass it to you, I just got a real problem with a coach sitting there with his legs crossed, just spouting off, making $10 million a year at least, telling people, well, what's okay for kids? It's okay. I told our kids, it's okay to make some money. Damn right it's okay for your kids to make money, Nick. That's how you got a job. You're 5'6". You can't play football. You may be able to motivate guys, but the reason you make $10 million a year is because you got great athletes doing your bidding. You got great athletes who are making you and the University of Alabama look better. And before Alabama, it was LSU. And before LSU was Michigan State. Don't sit there all cavalier like you're doing them a favor and you can pat them on the head condescendingly and like, oh, it's okay for you to do this. Make your little money because I approve of it. Screw you, you hypocrite.
He said Alabama created for itself, or the players created for themselves, $3 million doing it the right way. The 25 players, I believe, created $3 million. I'm here to tell you, if all you got for the University of Alabama players was $3 million, then you're doing it wrong. There's something wrong with that picture. Given the amount of money Nick Saban is making, given the amount of money that university makes, and your players only got $3 million, everybody else is doing it right. Okay? It's a new day. That day is dead. We don't roll like that no more. My biggest problem, my first biggest problem with his rant was the word bought. That really pissed me off. Texas A&M bought their players. Hasn't it been a plantation system long enough? Haven't players been treated like property for long enough? Hasn't it been an antitrust violation for long enough? Can you at least, at the very least, in your righteous indignation, use better verbiage? Choose your words more carefully than to say they bought their players as if they're property, as if they can be bought. How about they were just rightly compensated for the employees that they are and have always been? So here's the ultimate control freak freaking out because he's losing control and, God forbid, finish second in recruiting. It's all good when, what's good for the game means when Alabama's dominating and Nick Saban is making money hand over fist. That's good for the game.
Exactly.
That's the parity he's looking for. When he sees challenges coming, when other people are eating, now it's problematic. And look, who we fooling? This is about these name, image, and likeness collectives, these booster collectives. He's going to follow suit. He's going to adapt. He's going to adopt that same way of doing things.
He hasn't already, Mike.
Well, no, I'm talking about I'm talking about the name, image, and likeness part. I'll take that a step farther. Well,
I don't believe it's $3 million.
We don't just through name, image, and likeness. See, let's go. We don't disagree here. Let's go to what Jimbo Fisher was intimating, as if Nick Saban can sweep around somebody else's front door before he sweeps around his. As if Nick Saban's house is in order. As if Nick Saban and his program or programs don't have skeletons in their closet. Back in the days when compensating players was illegal, we don't know what they did. And we'd be naive to think that he's never gotten a single player, as if Alabama is the only place to go to get to the NFL. We'd be naive to think that Nick Saban and the University of Alabama, or before that LSU, or before that Michigan State, as you laid out, has never once bent, if not broke, the rules. Okay? To quote Terrence Howard's Quentin Spivey in The Best Man, no, you've done dirt too. Your shit just ain't caught you yet. Okay? Okay? So let's not get all high and mighty here.
I love that.
And act like you ain't got nothing. And Jimbo Fisher was like, okay, the gloves are off. You want to talk about doing things the right way? I know stuff. I know where the bodies are buried. And other people know where the bodies are buried too. So stop living in your proverbial glass house and throwing bricks. But when it comes to name, image, and likeness, this system of booster collectives is what I'm saying. That specifically, if he hasn't already done that, and if he had, I think we would probably know it's coming. Because he's not going to do it the right way and get passed by the likes of Deion Sanders and Jackson State. The same dude you had no problem doing an Aflac commercial with, putting more money in your pocket. You want to sit down there and look down your nose and say, oh, this Travis Hunter, they paid him $1 million to go to Jackson State. As if God forbid, or Nick Saban forbid in this case, that the best prospect in the country would choose to go play for the best cornerback of all time at Jackson State. HBCU can't have nice things. It's got to be Alabama.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. And the other thing, he can get to where he wants to go, I'm assuming. If Travis Hunter wants to wind up in the pros like his head coach did at a very dominant Hall of Fame level for many years, you can go to an HBCU, wind up in the pros, and have your own Hall of Fame career. And if he did get a $500,000, $1 million, $1.5 million deal,
what's so wrong?
That's okay.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong?
That's
it's not illegal, number one. Number two, tell me this, Michael. This is that hubris. What is so wrong with saying, hey, good for the players? Because without the players, we're nothing. This game is nothing. I'm not successful. This game isn't as healthy as it is. It's not as profitable as it is. I commend all the players who are getting compensation for the work that they put to make college football what it is. What's so hard about saying that? Nick Saban, have a seat right next to Dabo Swinney. I can't stand when either one of those dudes get off their high horse or put on their white wigs and decide that they're going to pass judgment on the rest of college football. Because players have the nerve to actually, finally, at long last, after decades of exploitation, are finally getting paid over the table? Or would you rather it be under the table so you can manipulate it and control it a little bit better?
Yeah. But it's always somebody else. He's got that personality. It's always somebody else's problem, somebody else's issue. So, as I pointed out, other teams are doing the NIL thing all wrong, but Alabama is doing it right. How about he was criticized? Was it the player from? Correct me. Is it Louisville, or a player, a wide receiver transferred? And I think maybe it was Louisville. I may be getting the school wrong. This happened just a couple weeks ago. And the coach said, hey, Nick Saban recruited him. Saban was like, oh, no, we don't do that. We never do that. We never recruit guys. We never talk guys into coming to Alabama. It just happens at other schools, but Alabama doesn't do it. You've had transfers. You just had a transfer from Ohio State.
Our guys are better coached.
Yeah,
we're just better.
He just went from Ohio State to Michigan. Ohio State to Alabama. Jamison Williams, he had a top draft pick who transferred. Maybe it was on the up and up, maybe it wasn't. But don't act like Alabama is somehow apart from the rest of the NCAA, and Alabama is doing it the right way and everybody else has got it wrong. Because let me tell you this, Alabama needs to do it like everybody else, because everybody else, especially at the top level, let's say the top 2%, top 2.5% in college football, is looking eye to eye with them. Let's not minimize the fact that Alabama lost to Texas A&M this year.
Right. All right. Georgia's the premier program in the country right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Alabama lost the national championship game after winning the SEC championship. So maybe the reason Nick Saban is having a hard time saying good for the kids, because good for the kids means a little more of that parity that he was talking about. Oh, I wish there was parity in college football. That was a ridiculous comment. This is more ridiculous. We don't even talk about that. He's saying it should be more equal. No, you don't really mean that. Because this is what equality looks like, Nick. This is what it looks like. And it means the Alabama can still be successful, but maybe not head and shoulders above everybody else.
What I also don't appreciate is how this fosters resentment. This is at the lowest levels, whether it's high school or AAU or college, and definitely into the pros. This is what sows, this sentiment sows the seeds of resentment toward players, specifically black players, as greedy, that they can be bought. Okay? Because now it's not just that group in Birmingham or Crimson Tide fans that's going to look sideways at Texas A&M and say, oh yeah, you in the message boards, oh yeah, you bought your players, this, that, and the other. It's as if the players aren't entitled or are undeserving of compensation, which is still far too inequitable. And the second thing is, I wonder how, if at all, and if I may say hopefully, this will affect Nick Saban and recruiting at Alabama moving forward. They obviously have a factory, okay? I mean, they recruit with the best of them year in and year out, and they dominate the NFL draft year in and year out. But if you got some players with options and some players who, have some principle about themselves, or some thoughtful players, but not just the players, the competition. Because I would imagine every coach in America that's competing with Alabama for these prospects will play this clip and say, here's what they think about you. Here's what they think about you. Yeah. Because I would be using this against Nick Saban as much as I could. When you refer to players as being bought, as if they're property, you can do better than that. You can do better than that.
Maybe you can. This is what I want to know.
You should be better than that. Correct. You're right. You should.
Jimbo. Thank you very much. And this is, I wonder what Sawatsky would think about the techniques by the reporters. Like that's a Sawatsky-free zone, because the reporters were trying to ask follow-ups to Jimbo, and Jimbo had more. Jimbo kept interrupting. Hey, I just want to ask Jimbo. No. Let me tell you something else.
Yeah.
Let me say one more thing about Nick Saban.
I don't need to tee up.
Well, Jimbo, you said no, and let me tell you something else. You just kept going.
All right. This is what I want to know.
I do want to know this. I want to know this. Jimbo kind of gave us a hint. There's something there. Every newspaper in Texas, every media outlet in Texas, if you got an investigative arm, get to work. Here's some boots. Here's some gloves. Put your hard hat on. Let's go, because Jimbo has just teed it up for you. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.